Hello everyone and welcome to the F1 Corner. I hope you are doing absolutely well. We finally have an answer about what happened to the tires of Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll during the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Pirelli finished their investigation about the issue that happened to the Red Bull and Aston Martin, if you remember, during the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Stroll and Verstappen both had tire failure at high speed in the long straight, going to the straight finish line, the start-finish line. And both drivers obviously did not finish the race. Verstappen was on the way for victory, but was denied such privilege thanks to the Pirelli tire. Early on, Pirelli said that this was probably caused by some debris on track, but both teams did not have any indications whatsoever that debris were in cause for the tire failure. So a deeper investigation was required, especially since it was happening on the same tires of both drivers. Debris, you would see maybe something happen on different tires. The chances of happening on the same tire, the same place, is very low. So, what did Pirelli said? After the investigation, they found out that after, of course, looking at the tires from Verstappen and Stroll, but also other drivers who ran the hard tire for a similar amount of time, that first of all, no teams were actually at fault. No team actually breached the guidelines, and the tires' structure and quality was not put back in cause, as after investigating all the tires, they found out that everything was fine. The quality control passed for Pirelli everywhere. It was not debris. Basically, it was nothing. What it means is, like Jensen Button said, was it voodoo magic by someone? So let's dig into what their actual answer was. Pirelli said that the actual running conditions of the tire was the cause of the failure. They did not elaborate a lot about it, but what we can read between the line is teams are pushing to the limit. They might be fiddling with the rules in ways that are making the tires unsafe. Without saying that with actual words, this is pretty much what their statement meant. Teams pushing the boundaries is taking risk. And how would they do that? I mean, something like a tire is something that is checked very carefully, because it is the safety of the drivers that is at cause here. Well, you know that tire pressure is strictly regulated. There is a minimum and maximum pressure that the team can inflate their tires, and they usually take the measurement when they remove the tire blankets from the tires, whether it's going on the pit straight before a start or before qualifying. They take a measurement when removing the blankets. Of course, during the race, tire pressure will fluctuate depending on many factors. It can be track temperature, the way the drivers operate the tires. If there's a safety car, the pressure will fluctuate, and there is a minimum and a maximum for that reason, and usually it gives way for a little bit of wiggle room to make up for those difference. But it is believed that some of the teams are playing too much with that wiggle room. because if you have a little bit less tire pressure, it means you have more grips, and in tracks where there are lots of corners, grip is key. So they believe that Red Bull and Aston Martin somehow, when they take off the blankets, they are at extreme, like the extreme low limit of what the tire pressure can be, and depending on how long you keep the blankets off or what you do with the car, tire pressure can go even lower, meaning that you are below the required limit by by Pirelli and the FIA and Formula One. You can access that data in real time from the pit wall, but it is still questionable whether those sensors are accurate, because it is not always sensors done by Pirelli. It can be sensors from the team. So what happens is that potentially you have cars with tire pressures lower than what is regulation, and it gives you an advantage. And when you put those tires under huge stress, going at 300 kilometers an hour, high speed corner, those tires, the rubber is put into huge stress, and not something that your average everyday car tire could handle. And because of that, they push the boundaries too much, and teams have, namely Red Bull and Aston Martin, paid the price for that. So what can we do about it, since everything was according to the rules when they take the measurements and even when they look at the data? Well, from the French Grand Prix onward, so this race, Pirelli is going to look a little bit more strictly into some of the procedures for tires. So one of them is, of course, to look at what is tire pressure after a session, which they sometimes do, but now they will be a lot more strict about it. When a session is over, we check the tire pressure. If it's not within the acceptable range, stewards will be informed. They will also limit try to limit the time, the amount of time at which the team can take off the tire blankets before going out on track, because if you take them out too early, it means the pressure can drop, and by limiting the blankets being taken off too early, they can better monitor also the tire pressure. Another way that they're going to look at it is the fact that when they take the measurement, if the tire is underinflated, they allow the teams to put a bit more air into it. And what's going to happen from now on is, if the difference between what is the norm and the underinflated ratio is too big, the stewards will also be informed that there is something to investigate. And also they're going to monitor very closely if the teams are using different gases to inflate the tires, because different gas have different behavior under different conditions, as we all know, at least if you've passed your second grade. But that's all they can do, really. I mean, Formula One has become so quick, so fast, so everything, that it might actually be impossible to do safe tires anymore without being really strict about what every team can do. And this is what we're seeing now. If you don't comply to exact, very strict rules, you put your car in danger. And this leads to some questions about what's going to happen next season with the new cars, new rules, new tires especially. Pirelli said they're going to be better, more performant, but will they be safe or safer? That is a whole other question that we will only be able to answer next season. Thank you for watching this, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to smash the like button and to subscribe to this channel. And I will see you again pretty soon, this weekend actually, for the French Grand Prix. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good day.